multiple reports out there about the proposal that will go to the owners 3 weeks from right now, today or tomorrow, for a new kickoff. Here it is. We've got the graphic so we can properly understand exactly what is on the table. It is a hybrid. It's not the full XFL proposal because even though the players are lining up on the opponent's 40, the kick comes from there too. It doesn't come from behind the action like in the XFL. So all 11 guys on the opponent's 40. The receiving team is on the 35. There will be one, maybe two guys back. There was a discussion about whether or not there would be two guys deep. The ball gets kicked. The players can't go until the ball either gets to the 20 or it is caught. And the whole idea, let's get the ball in play, because if you kick a touchback from the 40, the ball goes to the 35-yard line of the receiving team. If it rolls into the end zone, it's a touchback to the 20. So the 25-yard touchback is extinct. And Chris, more importantly, although this mechanism contemplates an onside kick, which would give you very good field position if you recover, what it does, you can only do it if you're trailing in the fourth quarter, and it takes the surprise onside kick off the table.
Wow. Man, I mean, timing is everything, right? I mean, I don't know. Can the Saints beat the Colts in the Super Bowl if they don't have the surprise onside kick? I don't know if they can. That's a big play there. But I mean, I know it's a moot point as far as it hasn't been involved in our league here really the last few years in general, anyways. So, I understand. I think I like this. I like everything about it. I would say the one thing I don't understand totally is, it looked like. We're going to judge when the ball crosses the 20-yard line in the air as far as when the players are going to go. That seems a little odd. I don't know. But I guess they need to buy a little more time for, to gain space and not let the DBs or the kicking team get down there too quickly. But I'm intrigued by this whole thing. I am. I'm intrigued. And again, with the different type of kickoff on the 40-yard line, like you explained, that's different as well. These kickers are going to have to get used to, using the pitching wedge, the sand wedge a little bit, which they don't usually have to do, and that's going to be kind of a different skill set altogether.
Hey, and Chris, well, I got a couple of things to say.
Yeah.
First of all, it's possible that it's the ball hitting at or inside the 20. The proposal isn't 100% clear in that regard. But here's the other thing. You don't need a kicker anymore if you're kicking from the 40. You don't need a traditional kicker. You're wasting a body that isn't built to participate in the play.
Sure.
You can put a guy out there who is good enough to pooch the ball between the 20 and the goal line. You just work on a guy. I mean, anybody who's fast enough or built in a way that you would want him to go participate in the play after that. So that advantages.
So you're saying
kicking
I
team.
get you. I mean, yeah, like the Chiefs, right? Justin Reed could probably kick it off, right? We've seen him do it. So now you have 11 tacklers on the field. You don't have to worry about we only have 10 guys and we got a kicker that we hope can trip somebody. I hear you there, Mike. That is interesting. It is. Now, most of these guys you're talking about aren't going to be able to maybe, pin it in the corner, right, on the 3-yard line and kick it up straight in the air and have it land like we've seen. These guys have gotten so good at kicking and punting the ball, right? They're that good to go, wait, I could knock it right in there. You put a box on the ground, I'll knock it in there. They are. So you would lose that aspect if you got, a defensive back or a receiver kicking the ball that way. But it does open the door to it, to your point. There's no doubt.
It opens the door to all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And for a league that is typically paralyzed by fear of unintended consequences, this to me seems like a potential box full of Pandora of unintended consequences.
I like it, though. I like this one. Open it up.
Well, because think of all the different stuff you can do. You can kick the ball. You can kick the mortar. We thought the mortar kick was going to become in vogue this past year when the ability to get the ball at the 25 with a fair catch short of the goal line came into play. That never happened. Last year, there was all sorts of talk about what teams were going to do to combat the change, in part because the coaches didn't like the change. So we're going to come up with a way to create unintended consequences. I just think there's a lot more room for creativity and experimentation. And I assume it's just going to be a one-year change. 24 votes to do it for 1 year, so you don't need to get 24 votes to get rid of it after 1 year. I think it's too experimental. There's too many different variables that I like the fact that they're trying to put the kickoff back into the game. I don't like the fact that the surprise onside kick goes away. I really don't like that. It's, to me, one of the rare occasions when the NFL's justifiable obsession with making the game safer changes the game. We are taking, and I think for the first time, yes, the game has changed. It's far less brutal. It looks different when you watch it. It's been an evolution, not a revolution. For the first time, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, they're taking off the table part of the game. The Super Bowl 44 surprise onside kick. The Steelers tried one in Super Bowl 30 that didn't work out. And I don't know that the success rate for surprise onside kicks has changed all that much. They don't happen very often. It's harder to recover a planned onside kick, but part of a surprise onside kick is if you do it right, the guys that otherwise would recover it start running back. They start retreating. You see something that makes you think we can get away with this and let's do it. So I don't like that that's going away.
Yeah, I hear you there. I hear you. But I think with where we are, in the current environment, we can't have it all on this play. I'd be more in favor of let's actually have a kick return, right? If we had to eliminate one thing, which right now is we're going in last year, we had surprise onside kicks, but we don't actually have kick returns. Or you give me this version of where we're going to have kick returns and we don't have surprise onside kicks. I'll take this version. I want to see the kick returns. And if we have to sacrifice the surprise onside kick, then so be it. I hear you there. But I think this is probably a necessary adjustment. I get it, and I'm just glad to see that the NFL is willing to tinker with this a little bit, and I'm excited. Like Troy Vincent said, the X's and O's schematical stuff with this, I think could get very creative. Special teams coaches, they got a lot of time on their hands, right? So they're going to be able to really think about some different things and different ways in which they want guys to drop and blocking patterns and all that, to where, I think it can add some little flavor to our game this next coming year.
I mean, really, after the kickoff at the 40, you could have multiple members of the kicking team drop back to be the second line in the event that you go all in.
Right.
The return man pops through, he's gone. There's all sorts of different things you can do to try to work with this. It's the kind of thing that we'd love to have Bill Belichick in the league because he would probably have some good ideas on how to do it, and there'll probably be some coaches out there reaching out to him to get his ideas. Let's take a break. More PFT Live right after this. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.